in and around the Iron Maiden and her meanderings, known as the Cult of Iron. Just sort of almost like religious fanatics. They were thought to be people just obsessed with her power and skill, and to give themselves unto her. I don't know, either out of just greed to try to make money along with her, or just share in her power. But they nonetheless were humans who assisted her in her operations. So, if they had to, hijack some train, someone out had to be going out there and actually getting these train schedules, bringing them back. And these clockwork soldiers aren't going to, they can't speak, so they can't be running around running errands for her, as it were. And these people, this cult of iron, were these people who did it. They were thought to just be humans, traders. They weren't thought to be modified in any way, but it appears that they were somehow modified to have these special abilities, as well as this unique form of death, it seems. So that is at least everything that came out of the Diggervert, and the lead that had led you there. This matchbook essentially being saying to stop them or you're done. Your only guess is that this must be connected with this cult of iron. It's possible it could still be the Days. They could also be working together, but this is the most direct lead you had as far as what was motivating the impersonator Torben Voller, who you learned was this mercenary, the doppelganger, this Claudia von Falkenhayn, who had also impersonated as the young child on the train. That she must be working for this same group if they were the ones operating out of this tavern and seem to be trying to stop you. So that's everything you were able to get out of the bar encounter, the fat landlady. Now you're going to be going to scout out the actual castle itself. You had gone through, collecting up some of these supplies that you needed, rock climbing equipment, all this kind of stuff. For this trip out, you're probably just going to be going with some camouflage clothing, binoculars, cameras, notepads, things to take notes. And you're essentially going to try to do an assessment of the castle and think out how you might get inside. The city of Breslau is far to the northeast. As far as getting here, you would essentially be driven. Someone's going to drive you down, and this would be the turnoff on the road. Would take you into the castle proper. They're going to drop you off somewhere around here on the side of the road. You'll make your way down the valley. And again, I'm going to just toggle the 3D. You can kind of get a sense of the perspective of height. So this is the river. Well, really, it's a brook, the Eltzbach, curving around, basically making out like a little river valley down here. So, this is higher up. It's sloping down, and then it slopes back up again. You have this little bowl, so you have this sort of curved area to operate in. You'll essentially be dropped off here, hike down, cross over the river, back up, hike around this bowl, and then in spaces where you have a shot, essentially take pictures or get shots of the castle from all the angles, and then back down, cross the river, and then they'll pick you up at the street, and then take you back to the station. So we'll play it essentially from here, of you getting dropped off in the woods and then heading south. But you can go on, if you want to role play out or say anything specifically that you wanted to bring as far as supplies or how you were going to be dressed. And then as far as your sort of marching order through the woods, it's not all going to be on the grid, but I would need to know, how you're standing apart from each other. So for that, at least, I'll just have everyone. I guess let's pull you right off of here.
We'll be eating stuff in like the back room, maybe like some shawarma, or we're planning to go to this. But yeah, but we do have the aura shapeshift that we could do, if you guys remember, where we could do a 10 foot radius around me. I can have us be creatures half or double the size of us. So we were thinking deer. We were just gonna go in and be inconspicuous, or wolves or something. I don't know. Whatever you guys think. I think that would be a good approach.
Does that transform whatever you're carrying as well?
I believe
Like
so, yeah.
in visually? It doesn't look like a deer with a backpack on, and is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, everything would be,
A deer with a fez, though, right?
I don't know, mixed into yourself, yeah.
Now that doesn't
You
work.
wouldn't be like a wolf with a backpack, but that would be cool.
Yeah, but it's a wolf with a fez or a deer with a fez, right?
One of them will have a fez, yeah.
Yeah, it just says a target's physical structure is temporarily altered, allowing it to assume the form of potentially any creature, no matter how fantastic or exotic. And yeah, I think all of your equipment and items just disappear, and you're just basically turning into this thing. So yeah, it wouldn't be an animal wearing said clothing, but at the same time, you couldn't really like get your equipment out or pass it between each other. It's just so sort of out of play, as it were. And if you ran into combat, you'd have to drop the ability.
Could also
And
have,
you said, go ahead.
while I do that concentration, Oliver could put up his mind link too, so we could always be talking to each other while also deers.
And you said it's a 10-foot cube?
Radius.
Yeah, well, that's
radius.
that's that's a problem though. Is how do you draw 10 foot? I need to know where that, because you take up 5 feet, so 10 foot away from you in every direction is actually 15 feet because it's outside from you. So I'm trying to fit this into a multi-target. If you're going to try to do it,
Oh, so basically, in that
I mean, I
25
think you're
foot
essentially just
cube,
doing a.
I'm 3.
Wouldn't it be this one?
No, this is for melee. That's
Right.
melee
But I'm
attacking
saying
multiple targets.
if he were doing it centered on him, 5 feet in each direction.
No, but it's not 5 foot radius. That's just what he said. You're doing a multi-target invocation, so you have to choose one of these three types.
Oh, I see.
You don't just draw a line. You have to invoke one of these actual types, either a cube, a cone, or a line. And in most cases, it's most likely going to be a cube. And if you wanted to get everybody, you'd have to do it. These are your two sizes because it has to be even on each side. So it's either, and it's disadvantage per 5 foot length of the cube. So it'd either be disadvantage 2 or disadvantage 4 for the size of it. And I mean, obviously, everyone could fit in the larger one.
This is a little bit different under Aura because you can have power level 6 is the 10-foot radius, so you're not really doing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see. You're doing. Aura is always difficult. I'd say 5 foot radius.
yeah. If I do
An
level
aura
6
extends
Aura,
from a willing target to okay, yeah. So scratch that. It's not doing the boon shapeshift as a multi-target. It's doing an aura of shapeshift, which limits the power level, but you can do. And you're doing it at 6.
yeah. So I get
So
power level 3.
the actual shapeshift is only power level 3, and it has a radius of 6 as 10. So yeah, so it would be that. Well, actually, this is the next day, so actually Oliver Ramos would wake up as himself, or do you actually do a roll for every day of a percent chance of something going wrong, or is it just kick in as normal?
I'm just kicked in.
Okay. I don't know. Do you for story? Is there anything else you want to do that your one evening? It's the lovely Pamela Anderson.
No, not anything in particular. No. I would have just been honestly a little pissed off the entire night.
Yeah, like I didn't know if you wanted to go back to the museum and try to see if you could finagle anything else out of
No,
Anderson.
Well, it's bad enough that you had to be a woman, but on her period, come on.
I wouldn't be that mean. I don't know. It would probably be. I mean, depending on how bad the period was, it'd probably be pretty rough because like any like pain you have, you get used to it after a while. So you have a headache, you're like, whatever, it's a headache. I've had a headache before, it sucks. But like the first time you get like a pain where you're like, ow, what is that? That must. I mean, like I've had muscle cramps or like when your back cramps up. I can't imagine like inside of your body cramping or the muscles. That I don't know. I don't know. That'd be
Well, it's
pretty
a
rough.
25% chance, right?
I guess I don't get the 25% chance.
It's once a month, 4 weeks in a month, typically.
Just doing. It's doing
Yeah.
like time wise. Okay.
I was going to ask about the circumference you just drew. It's a 10-foot radius, right?
Yep.
Isn't that a 25-foot circumference you've got there, or diameter?
Well, this is the. I see. I drew it from him as the object.
Right.
So if it's a 10-foot radius from the middle of him, then it's got half of the radius is going to be taken up by this. So it would be like
Yeah.
halfway through, and now you're having to do half squares.
Well, I was just thinking we all had to be standing next to him to have it work. Not that I'm
I guess
arguing against what you had, just
Yeah,
I was just
no,
making sure I understood it.
It's just if he did it at a lower power level, it would have a 5-foot radius, which would be his square.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the text reads, an aura extends from a willing target to a distance determined by the power level of this boon. So it could be argued that he takes up a 5-foot square, so it radiates
I
from that
see.
5-foot square. So it would
Got
be
it.
exactly as Kurt drew.
Yeah,
it.
I understand now.
that's why I was giving it that. So I mean, although I respect you as a math teacher questioning my
Yeah.
calculations of radius, fair enough. Yeah, at power level 4, it's 5 foot, so I thought that would have been out to here.
But I like your reasoning.
Yeah. Well, I guess I would have them fix the language because radius, you have to have a center to draw a radius, and that would be essentially all the centers all the way around him. You'd have to draw it from each of those borders. So, and then I mean, even if this is a 5-foot radius, like would this one's half covered? So would loose suit actually be affected at that point? You know, it's kind of hard. So yeah, that's why I thought I'll go with it. I mean, this is essentially the furthest you could be anywhere, anywhere within that area, but this would be take you farthest apart.
Yes.
And you don't even have to do this if you wanted to go with this. This is what it would look like your arrangement. So I guess besides me drawing this, do you want to go with that? And if you do, how do you want to be position yourself? Was there any particular equipment you're going to be carrying? How did you want to be dressed up? Are you just going normal clothes? Do you want to do some fatigues, camouflage, full ghillie suit? How do you want to?
I particularly don't need anything extra. I am the ultimate Boy Scout, and therefore don't need to worry about any of that stuff because I'm awesome and my tech's awesome. Hey, Rube?
I'm going to go with full camouflage, and I'm bringing a camera and a 200 to 600 millimeter lens, which will be a very large lens.
Awesome.
But I'll bring a backpack with me to carry this gear along with several rolls of film.
Okay.
Go back over a bit.
All right, I'm gonna dress in, I guess, an olive drab and gray pants.
Yeah, I mean,
so
technically they didn't really have camouflage back then,
Right.
I mean, especially World War One and into World War Two, it was even a German invention. They called it field gray, which was a gray color which blended into If you've seen like the Hobbit, the cloaks that they have,
Yeah.
they're kind of a greenish color, but they're very similar. They're just meant to blend in with
Right.
mist and gray and water and woods and stuff like that.
Yeah. So basically,
Camouflage,
that's
you
the
could
idea.
have some other pieces of cloth to vary your look, but yeah, if
Right.
you want to just
Oh, did my dad
stay,
hold it?
yeah, if you that kind of clothes and then backpacks or any other equipment you're carrying.
Yeah.
Oof, oof.
Yeah, backpack. I can't. I guess I've got
Just punch.
rope. At least 100 feet of rope. Probably
Yeah, so
slung around my torso. Couple of 50-foot
the equipment
lengths.
we had brainstormed was camouflage clothing, essentially this clothing, backpacks, rock climbing equipment, which would include
Right,
ropes
the
and all
rope.
that, bolos, binoculars, cameras, explosives and detonators. I mean, again, you're not actually going up into the castle, but I mean, you could still need, who knows, climbing gear.
Right.
Even going up through it's not quite mountainous, but it is rather hilly. Probably, a couple 100 feet elevation total.
Yep.
I just wanted to go through everyone, give you a chance to come up with other ideas, but also to hold you to. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to take out my camera with the lens, I'll be like, well, you didn't say you had a zoom lens, so you're actually saying, this is the kind of stuff you're going to bring. So think of it for ideas, but also this is all you're going to have if you actually get out in the field.
Right.
I mean, if you wanted water, rations, I don't know, or
binoculars, sandwiches.
Yeah, I'll bring food in my backpack.
Yeah.
Let Lars the call back to the warning of the cigarette smoking woman. So he's going to bring some sandwiches. Probably a good idea. And as far as the time, you got up in the morning early. You got the briefing from the coroner who's going off duty, having been on duty all night. You're being driven out here, and they're probably going to drop you off at this is going to be like 6:37 a.m. And you're going to have the whole day to scout it out. And the schedule is to pick you up on the other side, probably around dusk or so. Or he said you're going to want to get there before dark, but you've got the whole day to work with.
I'm going to make sure I bring a couple of large bars of chocolate and a big thermos of coffee.
Okay.
Yes, coffee. Yes, like 2 thermoses for me.
Yes. Taylor, any what are you dressed up as? Or I mean, you're probably the one person who can turn into stuff, so maybe it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, it doesn't matter too much.
you're like a camouflage fence.
I'll dirty myself up a little bit. I'll put like a little bit of mud on. It's just like it's good enough, right? But is there any way we can get like some traps or something? I know this is more recon, but like, is there any way we could bring like some traps?
Yeah, bear traps or wolf traps. The kind with the that we step on the plate and it clamps up and he has a chain to the thing like that, or anything beyond that. I think like rope traps. You could have the ropes and other supplies, but you'd have to like actually build up or make up a trap for it.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think I'd love the supplies for that, and then like 1 bear trap.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring a hunting rifle with a scope, so it looks like I'm hunting.
Okay. And Eddie, anything you're gonna take with you?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. No. Again, playing the character. He's like, well, he's definitely gonna bring his journal. He's not gonna forget that. Like extra or like a pencil in case the ink gets run.
Sure. Yeah. An extra pen.
Okay. And then when you get essentially the one of the officers, the chief. Chief Tiedemann has one of his officers in the same sort of police van drive you out there quietly, pulls over to the side of the road. Actually, we'll even say he's got an unmarked one to drop you off in. You're off by the side of the road. You've got all your kit and your supplies. You're going to be heading south off the road, and it is relatively dense forest, and it is sloping sort of gently downhill to the south initially. Do you want to do this shapeshift thing? And if so, or if not, how do you want to actually position yourself as far as your marching order, considering you're heading, if north is up and you're heading south?
I'm good with the order we have here, for me anyway.
Looks good to me.
Do I have to stay in the radius?
Well, no. I mean, so this is So I guess if you want to say, do you want to go with the group shapeshift? And if
No.
so, do you want to do the thing? Do you want to have everyone do it, but one person doesn't? Now is the way to
Yeah,
play it on.
I'm basically gonna take a step back, be like, I don't trust that, and then just basically activate my outer cloak, which basically is like a cloak of elven kind, which gives me that shimmer. It gives me invisibility, but it's limited invisibility.
Okay. So we'll say you're not within the bounds of anyone. Anyone else? I guess a yay or nay on the group shapeshift or wherever you want to be.
Yeah, I think the group shapeshift makes sense, and deer are pretty quiet in the woods, so.
Okay, so we'll do a group of deer, and Oliver Ramos, you down with that?
Yep.
And our marching has this at the front. So do you want to be in the front, or are you usually not a point man?
Yeah, no, I'll stay in the back, but I'll also take 10 to do the telepathy at this point for everyone.
Okay, so we'll set up the group telepathy, and then what? You guys flanking him like that?
Sure.
So you've got these four. Oh, sorry, you were saying something else?
Oh, yeah, we should make Oliver Ramos into a baby deer. That way it looks like he's.
Actually, he might not even be able to, because I think it's by size and weight, and he can only do at power level 3.
Ooh,
I think it's
next
half
everybody.
of his weight. So
People want to see your pretty face.
but yeah, maybe the fawn might be too little from that. And then
Yeah,
if
it's
this is
a
how
quarter.
they're marching, and if this is the radius of the aura, Mike, is that fine for your position, or do you want to be out front or the side, or?
Just put me like 10 feet to the left of Lars. So like, because I don't want to screw it up if I like, basically there's a whole bunch of us moving, and I kind of want to just make sure that I'm do another one over. Sorry, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, there's some odd wording on the aura. So the aura radiates a boon. Then the target of the aura is also affected by it. Target all allies who end their turn within the area of the aura automatically gain the chosen boon. So you have to end your turn within with 10-foot radius. Upon leaving the area of the aura, the boon is immediately removed. No creature may gain a boon of the same creature's aura more than once per round.
Wouldn't it look a little weird if you were? Well, I guess you're camouflaged, so people won't see you.
Hi.
Okay.
Yeah, I had that same thought.
Okay, and
Like,
this
just
is
some dude walking along with some deer.
He's just the herder.
Yeah, but he's cloaked.
It's the predator herding deer, which is basically what it looks like.
yeah.
Actually, he's. Oh yeah. So we're using the telepathy thing. I was just gonna say we should do that.
Yeah. As Eddie said, he did the group telepathy, so he's doing it at power level 6. This is a sustained persists.
Nice.
Actually, for both. So Trevandler and Oliver Ramos are both using a sustain to keep all these up. And this is, you can create a mental relay between yourself and up to 5 other creatures, allowing each of them to communicate with the rest of the group simultaneously. So you have the weird, creepy Latin sort of chanting and whispering in the background, but you can all, which is a little disconcerting, but you can all freely talk on this private channel.
What you doing?
And okay. So you set off down the hill. It is a relatively clear morning. It's like a little white puffy clouds. There's no mist or whatever dampness there was seems to burn off as the morning light comes up. The woods are rather thick, but there's not too much underbrush, bushes and whatnot. It's all pretty much just straight trees. As you start heading down, the land in front of you starts to form kind of a cleft. So you can either head to the right, to the left, or down into this sort of divide. It's all heading down towards the river valley, but on either side, it's more of like a sloped drop. Whereas this one, it's almost like an old river or something had run through and eroded and cut it loose, and now there's just rocks, boulders, and trees in it along with the rest of it. So essentially, left, right, or middle down the road.
Does the cleft look like it's something that we could traverse comfortably and still maintain our distance, or our radius in this
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. It's almost like a mini valley or holler. So like if you have the edge of a mountain, it's not just all slope. You have some little fingers. This is almost like a break. So you're kind of getting down to level ground a little bit sooner. You've got cover on either side, but you wouldn't be able to see as far on either side. Or you could lean more towards the left or the right of it.
Well, my vote is to go down it to see if maybe there's an entrance to something that we don't know about. Just that's my vote.
Yeah, and I'm not going strictly by this view, but I mean roughly,
Right.
You're heading around here, you're heading down, and it's all kind of coming out to this valley, but it's somewhere in here as you're sloping down to the river basin, you're seeing this divide. Let's just leave that up for now.
Yeah, let's do it.
You can see the phallic shape over here. See?
Yeah, the cross.
Oh no, Eddie isn't here. He'd get that. There's the stupid on YMH. This guy just dissects like some airports and their phallic shapes and symbols and their phallic worship around it. It's interesting. I like it.
Okay, so you're heading into the cleft. Everyone roll perception.
Oh, maybe I throw like a little thing out to the blue suit. I'm like, maybe blue suit can go up. Maybe he can see a little bit around while we go down. Maybe I don't know. So we can kind of separate a little bit because
Yes,
you're invisible. You can do what you want.
that is correct. As my mute doesn't work for that. This cat, for some reason, wants to be up, and it's like she never wants to be around all day. And all of a sudden, she's like, "Hey, all this technology, let me bite wires." I also have my Alder Briller down, Kurt, so I have the enhanced detection and all that stuff, as well as a
Okay.
bolster to my perception.
Total of 22 for perception for me.
Okay.
19 for me.
Wrong button.
17. Actually, it kind of looks like a creepy ghost dude with like a big old whip. So where like the circles kind of go, those are kind of like his feet.
It's 22.
I feel
Wow.
like you're really stretching there, buddy.
I need to draw it out. I don't have like snip on this though.
And Oliver Ramos is do a perception check.
$20.
20. This is the night of good rolls. So perception check, we got 22, 22, 20, 19, and 17. You all notice two hawks fly overhead in the same direction of travel you are. They seem to circle above the woods in like one pass and then head further out down over the valley area and seem to circle again. And you hear the cry of one of them, that caw the hawk's going to give out. You also hear several snaps and crunches throughout the woods. The loudest you hear is off to your left, so to the east, and you pause for a minute, to hear if it continues, if it's just a one bump or not. And it does seem to move on almost as if an animal or person is walking on adjacent, but in a direction away from you to the northeast. So I don't know,
Do we realize it's Blue Suit?
no, he's right next to you. So if this is the cleft and you're in it, you kind of hear something over here that seems to like make some noise and head off to the northeast. But being down in the cleft, you can't see whatever it is at a distance. These are all difficult to see. The hawks are difficult to see through the tree cover overhead. It's not quite dark, but there's not big patches of sunlight where you're standing. And even the movements, the stepping on twigs and leaves and whatnot is also difficult to make out. But these are the pieces of information you're able to glean. You head further down this cleft. It gets a little bit more bouldery, so you've got a couple of rocks.
Yep.
You imagine this is probably the sediment of maybe a glacier moving through, cutting this land and dropping these massive boulders like they were small pebbles. But you are able to move around them to get down further to the valley. But it is a little narrow. You're a little bit cramped and caged in where you are. Between the two rocks, you're sort of having to pass around this one boulder to the right. Is there any way you want to approach it? You just walk on as you go, or do you want to split up and move, stake out? Do you want to stop and listen? Essentially, this is a potential ambush spot, so you can take it as leisurely or as carefully as you want to.
So from my viewpoint up top, is it me I'm just stopping, kind of watching them go down, or I can flank onto a side, or
you're keeping that sort of same distance from them. You can stay outside the thing, but you would be moving at least geographically through this little cleft or valley with them.
Okay.
But at least at this part you've come to, there's enough rocks around, so your only path is to sort of shuffle in this little sort of 15, maybe 20-foot area and around. There could be, I don't know, a whole team of bad guys with guns around the other side of the rocks. You could climb over and look, or you have one person go ahead, or you could just go. I mean, it could be nothing. It's enough of a, you can't see immediately around you. You feel that sense.
I'll stop moving and let them move forward, since they're just a bunch of deer, and I'll just kind of observe.
Is my deer sense tingling?
Well, if anything, if you get any set, deer, they sometimes they don't like valleys, because if they get pounced on by wolves, there's nowhere to run. So you do feel that sense of like, this is getting a little cramped in. Could be nothing, but I mean that's how animals survive. They run at the slightest noise or something. So you do get that feeling.
But there's
So,
it's not like
sorry.
we can just go around it or whatever. It's pretty much just the way it is. We have to go through.
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
right?
well, essentially going around this big boulder is the only way to get past it. The cleft's kind of higher up on either sides, and you have a path through, and you have places to move. It's just normally in your woods you can see 100 yards in any direction, and here you are kind of cut in.
Sorry, T Swizzy, I believe you were trying to say something.
T Swizzy. All right, so something of note with shapeshift. Agility, fortitude, might, and perception are changed to the new form. So our perceptions are all going to be a little bit different as the deer. Kurt will have to decide that. And there was one more thing. Oh yeah, so you can't use any of your extraordinary abilities until you move out of my radius. That's another thing to note.
Okay, yeah, so the deer can't shoot lightning from their eyes or something like that.
It would be awesome, but no. Yeah.
And yeah, so I would say if as a deer you would have a perception of 5. So if your perception is lower than that, any future rolls you could use that. This essentially is your eyes and your ears, and you are also within the ideal time. So deers have very large irises. They take in a lot of light, but usually during the day they don't move around too much. They stay in the shade. They do all their foraging in the twilight hours, so early morning or late evening when there's very little light. So you are in your optimal time. I mean, if you walk out in the valley, this would be very bright. You'd be a little bit out of place. Maybe your perception might be a little bit lower there, but right now it's in peak form. This is exactly what deer were designed to do, is to navigate the woods. But
What's
you
a
cannot see around corners.
What's a 5 give you for extra dice?
That's the 2 dice 6, I believe.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was trying to ask, but I forgot I was on mute.
Oh,
I was saying, is that 2 dice 6?
Yeah, that's a 2
Yeah.
dice 6.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, not going so far as like break out a grid, make everyone's position. Just like story wise, how would you? You're in a valley. You can't go up the sides now. You could go back the way you came. I mean, as a deer, you can't really climb up over the rock. You pretty much can only go around it. So you can all just decide how you want to approach this.
so you guys want to go up the side, or you guys want to be goats?
I think we just continue on. We're going to have to squeeze so that we stay within the radius, right?
Yeah, you're okay for your radius, so you don't necessarily have to squeeze closer to each other. It's just if combat or something were to break out, you're in a tight space and you don't have much visibility. Or your natural deer form, you also have a very high movement. So say you're at a full sprint, your move could be like a 50 or a 60. Say you could just like take off at a bolt. If you're all jumbled up in a little corner, you're gonna have a hard time
Right.
getting away from each other if you needed to.
What do you think, Lars? Anything?
Sorry, I was having some weird bandwidth issue.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think we just very carefully go together, slowly.
Okay.
Same.
So
On high alert.
Yeah. So you are alert. You proceed in your normal arrangement, and in this case, the blue suit is sort of following from behind the ways, so he's not throwing off your illusion of deer out for a morning stroll. Um, you turn the corner around the stones. There's a couple other small boulders, but there's just a small rabbit, sort of eating some of the greens that are growing up around the rocks, as well as a couple of pieces of lichen off of the stones. And the rest of the area seems clear, so it does open up a little bit. You are still, channeled down in this cleft a bit as you head further south.
I'm a little bit curious. Can I go up to like the rabbit and just like kind of just like poke it like a little bit with my hoof? See what it does?
Okay, yeah, it's eating really as soon as you get close enough, it kind of stops. I mean, a lot of animals will sort of let others pass and not pay too much mind of them, but you're actually kind of walking up, so it just kind of freezes, is watching you, and as you extend your hoof out near it, it it thinks about giving you a speech about if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, things like this, but it decides just you're kind of freaking it out, pointing with your deer hoof like accusatory manner, and it just bolts off and sprints down the south. As you hear the leaves swirl and crunch as it makes a bit of a noise on its leaving.
All right, good enough. All right.
The rest you continue on. The rest of the valley opens up a little bit more as you start to actually approach the field. So now you're getting it's a little bit somewhere in here, but you can see the light on the grass opening up, and now you're only a few feet from it actually opening up into open space, and your cover will be lost as you move outside of here. Do you want to change your movement at all? Do you want to keep going as you are? Do you want to all move at a faster speed? Do you want to change it to something else? Essentially, the terrain is leveling off, and you're about to get out into open sunlight now. So the environment seems to have changed. Is there anything else you want to do?
I think we should pause near the edge of the woods and just look around and do some perception checks.
Okay. Yeah. Everyone make a perception check.
I'm just like, okay, I was about to gallop off.
You what?
No, you're like, it's like we should probably look around. It's like I was about to like run. I was about to pick up the pace.
15.
14.
What are our perceptions as deer?
2d6.
Perception is 5, so you had 2d6.
Oh, okay.
Although it's not
27.
helping because everyone's rolling lower.
I got a 6 in there. Yeah, so 27.
27.
Hey,
27. And sorry, blue suit. I didn't get yours.
15.
15. Okay. All right. So you take your time and actually, get a feel for the whole field. It is pretty wide and open. You can see the riverbank. You can't quite even see the water. There's a bit of shrubs and weeds and stuff along the edges of it, but it sort of delineates, exactly where the water is traveling to your south. Most of the field is wide open. Off to the left, a ways, maybe 200 yards. There's like a lone oak tree sitting on this flat field, and the rest of it is wide open. And the other sides of the field are very similar to here, being sort of plain grass and then just stark trees with some undergrowth and shrubbery. Your perception's enough that scanning the field, you don't see anything else lurking in the shadows, even at a distance. Um, Nothing you could actually see. If you actually sat there and studied, unless someone was very heavily camouflaged or had a ghillie suit or something to blend in, you don't notice much at all. But Metamorph and Oliver Ramos, uh, you see right on the riverbank, like running down the riverbank, is a small child. You can make out you can't quite see the pants are dark, but it is like a bright red jacket of some kind, and this tuft of golden hair, almost like the tufts of all the corn, coming off the top of his head, and the hair is just waving. It's about 100 yards, like basically the length of a football field, maybe just a little bit further, and he's running down the riverbank. So from right to left from your perspective, and he seems to tumble and go into the river. So you see the small child, maybe 8 years old or so, maybe 8 or 10, running down the riverside, tumbling like he took a digger, and you just hear the splash as his body goes into the water. Water splashes out, and you hear a little thrashing in the water, and nothing else. You don't until you see him come crawling back out.
If he dies, he dies.
yeah, I hope you can swim.
How many? I'll boost forward, Kurt, and try to jump into the water to save him.
Okay, so the blue suit will go run ahead.
I'll jump. I'll do a boost jump.
So hold on,
It's
we didn't
air,
all
it's
see
not-
it, right?
What?
We didn't all see this, right? Kurt?
Okay.
I-
Oliver Ramos and Metamorph were the only ones to see it,
Okay.
and if they choose to say nothing, that could be a thing.
Oliver says nothing.
Oh, I would tell him, but I was like, I would tell him exactly what happened, but I would be like, oh, but he probably knows how to swim. Like, whatever. I don't know if we should get out of our disguises. I think at that point
it is somewhat within your character to be a little, silly or nonchalant about it, but it's also within your character to say something because you specifically have some kind of rapport with kids, at least. So you do see some rapscallion playing around and getting into trouble, and the poor little tyke's going to hurt himself. So you would probably say something. So you would say that over the telepathy to the rest of the group, and Oliver Ramos would look at you and roll his eyes, saying, "Oh, you're no fun."
My character would be like, what? Where? And so, yeah, as soon as I hear that, I'm going to try to go right after it and ignore the loss of the deer.
Okay, so I mean, the blue suit's already in its normal form, running forward. You essentially
Right.
move outside of the shapeshift. You get your speed back. You could use an action to kick on. Well, it'd be I think it's a minor action. To kick
I
on
don't
haste,
have
or-
to sustain my invisibility. Just so you know, my trench coat is reliable, so I switch it on, it's on. So I am still cloaked or invisible while I'm doing this. And while I do use those shoes, they're pneumatic. So yeah, there might be like a whoosh of air, but it's not like a.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as rocket size. Anyone else as far as your actions?
Yeah. I'm going to also exit the circle, so I'll show up looking like a hunter with, my gun on my shoulder and a pack on my back.
Okay.
And I'm going to uh, en- engage haste, which I think is a action, right?
Do you have any kind of boon focus on it?
I don't have boon focus on it.
Okay, yeah. So that's a major action, and
Okay, so I'll do that, and then I'll do a move.
haste. And Eric, you have boon focus 1 on haste, so you
Right.
let's see.
So that's still a major action for me.
It's still a major action. You just don't have to roll. So
Right.
so Lars, you actually have to roll to turn the haste on.
Okay. So, is that just a die 20? But how that works, I forgot. Oh no,
Haste.
no,
sorry,
it's whatever movement.
Yeah, it's the ability
Haste
roll.
is alteration or movement. I'm assuming you're using your movement, which I do have as.
Right.
Oh yeah, you did the attribute substitutions. It's a movement of 6, so
right.
you roll a die 20 and a 1 die 10, and you have to evoke
No,
it at whatever
Well, it's
power level
synergized
you're
with
trying to do.
energy substitution, so it's 2 die 8 because it's a right.
Yeah, I know it's a 6. I'm just forgetting what a 6 is for dice. So yeah, it's
two
two,
die
two
eight.
die 8.
Yep.
1 die 10 is a
Okay.
4.
Just making sure I was doing it right. Okay.
And also I'm guessing you're invoking it at power level 6, or you essentially gonna
Yes.
try and fail down from there. So
Yeah. So
yeah, so go
I-
ahead and roll your 2 die 8 and your 1 die 20.
so I rolled
Explosions happen to be normal.
25.
25, which at power level 6. You need a 22, so you do. So you have haste on.
And then that happens right away, right? So I get the 20-foot increase right away.
One second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's the case.
All right.
Eric
So
doesn't have to roll, so he just has haste 6. I'm gonna put. I guess do you know what power level the invisible is at on your coat, Mike?
I have to unmute in 2 places, which is annoying. 5. Power level 5.
Power level 5. Okay, that improves. Yeah, advantage 3 to hide, +3 guard. Yeah, -2 guard for people who can't see you. Okay, so you said you're running, and all of our almost you just staying within the shapeshift with well, I guess it'll depend on Taylor. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just chilling, and I believe that blue suit 100%. It's got this. I'll turn to Oliver in deer form and say like, uh, I got $5 on blue suit. What about you?
I kind of just like shake my little tiny fawn head and then go, I'd like to remind you all that the last time we trusted a child, we almost died. But okay.
All right. Do you want to follow like slightly behind them?
I
Just
mean,
like
even
Yeah.
though it's still in the back of our minds, unfortunately, with the knowledge that we have and what we've seen, there's not much we can go on. You know, got like between basically between Shooting Star and I, like we can't allow that to happen. So
yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
exactly.
It's
you wanna
the
move
good
up a little
good
bit there?
guy's dilemma.
So Kurt, my move was to move to my character's right one step to get out of the bubble, and then do the haste, and then I would have had uh, 45 feet left, so I would have moved, forward 45 feet.
Let's-
Or 45 feet toward the kid, anyway.
Of course, what's really funny, Lars, is
Yeah.
the movement we have as a deer, Kurt said, was like 50.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we really didn't lose much of any in that you know, whole deal.
All Vizio challenges. So that I believe is to there.
Yeah.
45.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm basically doing same type of thing. I'm going forward instead of to the side, but it ultimately ends up in the same place.
And actually, I could have had Lars. You could have moved it a diagonal, so you could actually move one. So you would have moved like 5 feet. So
Yeah.
you're outside of it. You get your normal abilities, and then
Yeah,
what's your total movement with haste minus
55.
5?
55 total.
Okay, so here,
That's because I get that extra 5 for the other thing I took.
yeah. And Mike, is there anything about the range? I don't know with your.
my flight, so the hopping is at my regular movement speed, because it's flight 6, so it's not hampered.
Okay.
But until I can get flight 8, which would then add, it doesn't. Yeah, but at least it's. I can basically move. I can traverse in the air at my speed.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll say it's just like a movement. So you can basically like hop 30 feet. So is double move what you would wanted. So
Yes.
like hop 30 and then hop 30 again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on though. I might have to. Actually, I think I might have to invoke the boon though. I do. Oh, they're reliable. Never mind. They're switching on. They're reliable. Never mind. So yeah,
Okay.
I do not have to roll to invoke them. I just do.
Okay. And then Taylor, what are you doing from here?
I'd like to kind of walk up, not as fast as everyone else. Maybe just like 20 feet. If Oliver will follow me,
I
that
will.
is.
Yeah, well.
That's about it.
Just 20 feet to there.
Yeah. These kids have really screwed me. They took my fez, and then they fucked us on the train. I was like, eh.
There has been a trend. Okay, so essentially that's one round. So the next round and order doesn't really matter. So
Go ahead, Mike.
I guess we'll start with blue suits.
Sorry. I'm doing my own little counting out in Tabletop Simulator. Yeah. Kids there. So 5, 10, 30. Yeah. So I'll just basically jump straight to where he went under.
Here.
And I have a pen, but yeah, I'll jump straight to where he went under and just. I guess it's all double movement, so I'm guessing there's no sort of. I mean, there's minor actions.
Oh yeah, and the double move you can make it there easily.
Right. So I'll straight into the water. Like I'll plunge straight down in the water. Unless the kid's like, is he flailing around? I mean, is that a?
It's enough where you could be standing in. You could you're technically, on the mushy. Your feet are wet, but you're essentially on the side. You could pick him up from there. So yeah,
Oh, it's
the
not like he's
body appears to
drowning.
be moving. Well, I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm
he's
sorry.
half on the surface of the water. He's not like 6 feet under, but he's not laying like floating on the surface. You basically see his back and his arms in the water, and they're moving.
All right. So if I don't have to drop into the water, then I'll just do that then. I was hoping
Yeah,
to
I mean,
use the one invention I haven't used yet, which is my
oh,
go-go gadget
I
inflatable
get
trench
you.
coat.
I'll give it to you. I did. It's loose enough. Well, it's gonna make for a better story. So yeah, I'll basically have you landing in the water next to him to grab him and float up to the surface, as it were.
Yeah, just tell him it's a deep spot.
Like his red coat there, and then we'll go shooting star.
I'm just gonna run right up to the edge of the water and use the double move if I need to, and be on the other side from blue suit, trying to assist in getting him out. Yeah.
Yeah, you can make it to there.
Yep. And I reach in, try to grab the kid if I can see him. I don't know. Can I see him?
Yeah. Same thing. Is you kind of see his back or the coat sticking out of the water.
All right. So yeah, I'm making a grab for it.
And Lightning Man.
So I'm actually gonna slow down a little bit, and I'm still hasted, so I'm still gonna move a normal hasted move, which is 50 feet. But then I'm gonna be like looking around as I move. Well,
I mean, so you could essentially move right up to the surface of the water, so you can stop wherever you
yeah,
want, or you can do a perception wherever you want.
yeah. I'm just before I get to the edge of the water, around that area, I'm gonna do a perception and just like look all around as much as I can. And I'm gonna continue to move so I'm close to like 5 feet from the water.
Like
But I'll
here.
use my yeah, that's good. I'm gonna use my action to just really look around.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me just put you here for now. And I'll
Okay.
have you roll your perception in just a sec. And then what about you guys? So you're a little less than 100 feet from the edge of the water.
Just walk up another 20, I think, for us.
Okay. 20. And Lars, roll your perception.
I'm feeling suspicious. Oh. That's a total of 8 with a natural 1 on my 20-sider.
Okay. Roll an agility check.
I had a feeling that was coming. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. 22.
Okay. Not bad. Okay. Let's see. So Blitzman does his rocket jump, like lands in the water, goes to like grab the kid to buoy him out. Shooting Star runs right up to the edge to kind of help pull the kid out. You guys are leisurely walking, being very careful and keeping your eye out. Blitzman goes running up at his hasted lightning speed. He's a suspicious fellow, though, so he's kind of scanning, and he's just not seeing anything in the water around. But as he passes around here, you trip over something. Like your foot, you
Free
hear
root or
this
something.
metal tang as you trip, but your agility is enough you're able to actually like catch yourself and land back on your feet, so you don't actually go pass over tea kettle or face forward. And the blue suit, as you grab the boy, your foot like hits something metal as well. Is yeah, it's would have been here. So Lars, as you're running to the edge of the water, you said you were going to stop about 5 foot out.
Yeah.
You actually do trip over this metal bar here. You do catch yourself right at the edge of the water, to stop yourself from, well, falling in or losing your footing. And Blue Suit, when you get your hands on it, the boy moves back up, and now you see it's really like a little animatronic boy. So it's like a little machine boy on this track, and he is almost wrenched out of your hands, almost pulls you up half onto the shore, as his little arms start doing this like running, and he starts running backwards. And as he comes up out of the water, you can see between his little pant legs, there's just a rod going down to this, almost like the horse races, the little mechanical rabbit on the metal track. And he just proceeds to, in his little animatronic fashion with his little golden hair, running backwards, back into this little bush. And there's sort of like a click and a whir and a reset as the mechanism goes back into its place. And at that same moment,
Damn kids.
a giant black tentacle bursts out of the river.
Damn kids.
Next kid's dying. That's all there is to it.
Or Kurt's pushing us.
It thrashes out. Yeah, either that or I'm just setting you up for the one where it is the innocent kid who's like the son of the emperor, and you're like, it's fake. He just gets killed. Blood splatters on him. The tentacle comes thrashing out of the water. It hits each of you, sending you flying back. You only take 1 point of damage, but you are thrown back. It's 10 feet. Nope, I don't want to take the whole river with me. And you are prone as he lands here. And the source, it is coming up out of the water, and then this whole bit is sort of winding up or around in the air as it whips around. So it kind of comes out and kind of gives you a back swat as it throws all of you backwards as you land, and it is now sort of hovering around in the air. It is black. It almost looks amphibian sort of skin, but it does have a strange rubbery feel to it. And from within it, you do hear the clinks and clanks of almost what sounds like a chain on a winding, or a chain going through a set of gears. If you watch, if you've seen Lost, the smoke monster, this is sort of the similar sound to that. It's almost a very mechanical, there's almost like a sound that repeats itself, like this, clank, 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 as something is being wound in or fed out inside of it. But from the outside, it appears to be just this slimy, black, fleshy tentacle. So everyone roll initiative. I'm just going to throw a prone up. Yeah, it's not really a proper. Oh.
I did amazing, Kurt. I got an 8.
Yeah, not bad.
21.
15.
6. Yeah.
High five, Lars.
Yeah, man.
Shooting star. 14? Did I lip read right? Yeah, you're on mute, so I didn't hear you.
Yeah, 14. I said it like 4 times, but I didn't realize I was still on mute.
No,
Yeah, 14.
I'm just happy I was able to read your lips right.
Nice lip reading, yeah.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Well, four is kind of an easy one, if anything. I don't know. I always wanted to watch a course or something on how to lip read. This is agility. So nice.
Kurt, one thing that I didn't mention, but we talked about before, was that I had picked up that basically it's a Lucerne hammer, and I would have brought that as part of my gear for this.
Yeah, and then everyone else has this option too. So when you had gone to the museum, you can pick out, I mean, pretty much any medieval weapon you could think of, from a glaive, halberd, sword, lucerne hammer, something like that, to use in place of another melee weapon if you want to. So this is going to be more for the mechanical Clockwork Man, although I don't know, Clockwork Temple might be the same. But if you had taken one for the assault, you would have that on you as well. So I guess
Right.
if you want to, I mean, yours. I think you were one of the specific ones. We saw your sap wasn't going to do much help, so you're going to grab one of those. But everyone else, if you want to state now or forever hold your peace as far as having one of these fine weapons of some kind.
And we wanted more piercing, so I'm thinking rapier. We wanted piercing, right?
You do so. Bludgeoning is going to work a fair deal, but it would have to be pretty pointy, like an actual like hammer or something, not something soft like a wooden club. Piercing is going to do the best, although it is going to be like rapier would be good for piercing flesh, causing flesh wounds. This is going to be more like a spear or I mean halberd with like an actual hard point, so something more rigid than a rapier.
Could I get a halberd?
Oh, let's see.
Or if not, a spear. I'd definitely be into that.
I was gonna say you would probably want something you could fit inside yourself. I mean, for when you turn into, well, I guess technically all your equipment does turn, kind of go into you. So you could have. It's just a halberd is usually a really long. I mean, for a spear, I don't know if you want like a short spear or a long spear. I mean, I guess if you can say how big a thing you want it to be.
Yeah, maybe like a shorter halberd.
He could just
Okay,
walk
yes.
he could just walk like this, Kurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. From fingertip to fingertip.
He's like moving sideways to get indoors.
Okay, so first up is Oliver Ramos.
Hey, Kurt, can I get one of those hammers that's all metal? The Lucerne hammer.
A Lucerne hammer as far as a melee weapon to use? Sure.
Yeah, all metal. Yeah.
You won't.
Okay.
Yeah, they would definitely have one.
Sorry, all that was left for rubber.
I meant without a wooden handle.
Yeah.
I guess I'll leave the radius. About that far.
Okay, so you. I guess what I'm stuck on is that you'd have to leave the aura. I guess for this purpose, we can just say that like Taylor can drop it at will. So I mean, I'm guessing you would drop it as it's technically you would have to take a 5-foot step to get outside of this thing in order to use your abilities such as teleport. But having used 5 foot of your total movement, that was your movement action. You can no longer do teleport, but that's overly penalizing you. So I'm just going to say
Oh,
he just
fine.
drops the
I got-
aura, and you can go to the spot. 5, 10, 15. I think I shifted down from where you originally were.
No,
Was that
yeah.
where you
That's
wanted to
fine.
move
Yeah.
to?
Yep.
Okay.
And then
And anything else from there?
I'm just gonna shoot some fire out of my finger at the that closest one right there.
And it is, I'm using dots to show where this thing is located, but it is all considered one creature, although you can also attack one particular segment if you wish. So you could just say, like, I'm shooting the thing, I'm doing a bane attack, I'm doing a damaging attack, or you could say, I'm going to do a lightning attack with damage, and I want to shoot it, like, right here at this one spot, if you want to specify.
Cool.
So it's up to you.
Well, yeah, it won't matter. I got a 3, so.
Okay. It seems to be so wet, the flames only kind of evaporate a little bit of the moisture, but it appears to be rather slimy.
That'll be
And
it.
I guess let's see. Your shapeshifts. This is gone. This is gone, and you're sustaining your teleport or telepathy. Oh yeah, you dropped your aura. Okay, so and then it goes to the blue suits.
Okay. Okay. Um, I'm prone. Facing which way? Am I facing the river?
Um, I'm guessing. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much as far as spacing, but
But
I would say you're like prone on your back with your head to the west.
so
Here.
right. So what I want to say is I want to like angle around. I want to boost into the water because I have my mask up anyway, which has it's an air tank in it that's persistent. So basically, I want to boost into the water with my goggles and my mask, which are already up. Basically, like shoot into the water because there's mud here, and then because of the way the tentacle came out, I'm basically looking to see what it's attached to. I've got my goggles with detection and all that. Basically, I'm like a scuba diver right now. Is what I'm trying to do without having to stand
Yeah,
up and forsake some movement.
yeah. So I mean, you're essentially prone. You're laying down, so you just angle your feet to the north, like rocket this way, and then angle down. And where you're going like down underwater or
Yeah,
something.
I'm gonna shoot into the water and down, basically looking for where the creature is, what's left of the creature from a logistical standpoint. I mean, you said it was
Yeah.
rubbery, but who knows? It could be a real thing. So,
And then what do you want your? Are you going down
well,
like just a couple of feet or 5 feet or so?
I'm just gonna basically. You tell me when I get in. I'm moving enough to go down and in and see what's there, and then I can continue movement or whatever.
Yeah, you've got your goggles, so you can see roughly clear. So at the base of it, it looks like it's relatively clear. It goes down about 15 feet, and then as far as what you're seeing underwater, I'll make these guys a little bit darker. It is sort of flesh colored. It does get a little bit larger diameter, and it appears to go right down to the river base, like the mud or the sand at the bottom. Like this is the foundation of it, and it forms up into a narrower tentacle as it breaks the water out here.
Okay. All right. So there's nothing that I can see as to like there being some sort of like thing.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to. If it's mechanical, it's covered up by the appearance all the way down. It's not like you see a black box or gears or anything like that. It appears to be this rubbery flesh right down to the sand.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see an organic body is my point. I guess what I'm going with. Like,
Yeah, no, or if it is, it's underground. Nor do you see any others. This appears to be the only one, unless there's others under the actual mud.
okay. Um, so I
And I
will.
guess for what it looks like, if you like in the Lord of the Rings, when the eagle goes under the water with the fish, and then sees the ring in the mud, and there's a little bit of weeds and stuff, and it's somewhat dim. That's roughly what it's looking like. You.
Right. I'm going to move in 10 more feet, 5, 10. So I'm like right in like its armpit there, I guess, or whatever. And
Right here.
hold on. Where's the thing? Right here.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I'm gonna take prone off because it's not you're swimming. So
and then I guess I'm going to. The gun would work. It shoots air, but it'd be weird. It's weird. I guess I'm going to slash at the tentacle with my razor gloves. Try to do
okay.
piercing type damage. Right at like the joint where it's like coming at like where the mound is. I'm trying to like almost like try to. I know I can't sever it because of how big it is, but I'm trying to like dig into it and like basically make it retract. I guess.
Okay.
Nope, not that. does that. 17.
17 hits, and you slash it, and you do some damage that digs into this flesh, and at the impact, the entire diameter of the tentacle appears to fluctuate. So it's almost like a ring is moving up as it winds out, and then that extends all the way up to the tip. And you guys on the outside, you see this as the tentacle is coming up, it kind of gets wider as this wideness moves out to the tip in one shock wave of motion. But you do damage to it.
Just so you know, I have a 5-minute supply of air.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
And I have to do my little initiative thingy. All Ramos, loose suit, shooting star, tentacle, metamorph. What's that?
Did I get moved? Because I was up in that under.
You are still there. This is the initiative order.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see. You just moved me away, and then you're gonna push me back. Okay.
No, I made another copy of you. You're still down there.
Oh, but no, that's not where I was. Because I was here. Oh, stupid annotation.
Here.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay. Oh yeah, I moved you down there because I thought the annotation, but I might have scrolled up. So now no worries.
Yeah. No, so I was just I mean, WebEx is being weird.
Okay, shooting star.
All right. So I'm going to use that tool, and let's see, as a minor action, is it? At this level, I think is it minor or move action that I can turn on the resistance?
Yeah, I remember.
Trying to
I had to
remember.
look up. I had to look up last time too. Shooting
Uh,
star. You have boon focus
3.
3 for resistance,
Yeah.
so I think that's a minor.
Yeah.
Boon focus.
I should know this. I look it up almost every time.
If the chosen boon sustain
Two.
3 just gives you the advantage thing at tier 2. I think it just goes down by 1, so it's
So it's a
a move action.
move action. All right. So
Yeah.
as my move action, I'll invoke the that thing, the resistance.
Resistance, and it would most likely be forceful.
Right.
I'm guessing.
Right.
Resistance.
And then I will draw the Lucerne hammer, and I guess I can get up, even so I've used a move action.
So you use one move action to turn resistance on. It would be half of another move to get up from prone.
Right.
And yeah, if I can pull the hammer out, would just be a minor action. So yeah, you could stand up and still have half of your movement left if you wanted to move around.
Can I attack it too, or no?
Yeah, it's close enough. You could attack it from here.
Okay.
Where the arm currently is. So the arm
I'm
is
just
kind of
gonna do
hovering.
one. Yeah, go ahead.
Say like 7 feet off the ground. So it's not so high you can't reach it, but its position may move left and
Yeah.
right.
So what I'm going to
rising.
do is just do my single attack, and that's it. That way it kind of balances off the having gotten up.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, because if you use
A
your mage
move
action
and
to
another
attack,
half.
your
Yeah.
move action. Look, I was trying to think what how the haste says it.
I mean, I could always do it at disadvantage 3, because then I can move.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You could
Yeah.
have done your stand up as your third action, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
if it requires.
Because I have
yeah,
to
it
do
doesn't-
it in order, so I would have to do it as the attack as my third action. So I'm going to do it at disadvantage 3.
Well, I don't think you have to. It just says, additionally, the target may make one extra major action on each of its turns. So yeah, you would use that extra action to stand up. It doesn't require
Okay.
a roll, so there's no disadvantage. But
Right.
now your normal attack you would use to attack it. So yeah, that would work.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. And
So did you say getting up from prone is half of your move?
Yeah.
yeah.
But so not to split hairs or whatever, but haste gives you an increase of 20 feet. So couldn't you use that increase of 20 feet as your?
Yeah, but
Like,
then
The problem
then-
is I'm
Because it's
doing
not
2
really half.
moves and an attack.
Yeah, never mind. Because it's not really
So,
half anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 1 on my 20, but I rolled 2 8s on my 2 8s. So 16, 27 is the total.
okay.
I mean, if I
You got
have
a
to get
27
lucky,
on
I
a
get lucky
1?
somehow.
On a 1?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, that's because I rolled 2 8-siders on the
Yeah.
8s. And then I got a 6 and a 4. So, yeah,
That's
it is
recovery.
very much my lucky night.
And this is using that Lucerne hammer.
Yeah, so it's a piercing type of hit.
I'm just checking. Let's see what this says. So you hit the thing with your hammer. It pierces through the flesh, and you feel it hit heavy, chunky stuff inside, and you feel a lot of chunky stuff break and give way. You do a
Okay.
significant amount of damage, enough so you can throw a free bane on top of it based off of the weapon type. And for this weapon type, disarmed doesn't really fit. Actually,
Right.
mobile doesn't really fit. So I would just say persistent damage
Yeah, that makes
would be the
sense.
one.
Like it pushed the gears in just the wrong way so that they continue to grind every time it tries to move.
Yeah.
Got it.
Persistent
All right. I'm
damage.
standing, but I didn't move anywhere other than to stand up, so I'm done my turn.
Get rid of this. I'll put the head here. It's just the lowest one. And remind me if I forget, it takes that at the beginning of its turn. And which it is now. So roll 1 die 4. And 4s explode, if that's why you're cheering. No, it's still
Yeah,
PS4.
I'm muted. I rolled a 4, and then I rolled another one, so I got a 2 on the second one, so a total of 6.
Okay, 6 points of damage.
Everything explodes.
Yeah. So you like hit it in, and you pull your weapon out, and you hear more chunks as it goes along. Let's see. And sorry, give me again. What's your total guard against forceful with your haste and your resistance?
27.
7 guard. Okay. The tentacle flexes. It sort of does like almost like a whip action, and the elbow kind of it smacks you. You take 3 points of damage and are thrown back 15 feet. And let's see, that's enough of a curl. So it curls back this way.
Am I prone or just thrown back?
It was just a forced move.
Okay.
And actually, let me roll for suit. Oh no, it's the same. I use the same roll for multi attack. So you actually don't. You only get thrown back 5 feet because it's underwater and it's kind of slowing you down. Oh, well, blue suit's not there. I'm talking about nothing. So he also got knocked back and swing 2 tries to resist, and it does. Well, I guess in game terms, it resisted the persistent damage. Bane, in story terms, you hear like clanking and ratcheting, and a couple of pieces almost falling out of the hole as it appears to be repairing itself, or closing plates to seal off damaged areas. And that is its turn, and it is the metamorph.
Okay. I want to exert my.
Sorry, just because he's back. Eric had hit it on its turn. The whole tentacle kind of whipped in a wild action. It pushed both of you back. It had knocked Eric back 15 feet. You'd only got knocked back 5 feet because of the water. You can't get thrown quite as far. But you did take 3 points of damage. And go ahead, Taylor.
All right. I want to get real huge and become the biggest target and biggest, strongest target here.
Okay.
I don't exactly know how. Um, I guess a resolve attack, well, Bane attack would work against a machine, but we're gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna turn into a big old hippopotamus. I'm gonna go hippopotamus, and I'm going to rush up as fast as possible and try to assign the provoked Bane on him.
I'll borrow the dolphin and just make him huge.
Either like roar in his face, trying to provoke him, or like if there's like a tree nearby, just totally go for the tree and just try to remove it from where it is. I don't know, just exert my prowess and it's provoke him. I don't know. If this will work.
Let me see. Let me just check range real quick. Oh yeah. God, you're fine. I don't know why that looked like less. I'm just gonna keep that here. I thought that was way less than 50. So you're gonna invoke the provoked Bane. So yeah, you're essentially doing your, hungry hippos. You're just a bunch of marbles. I'm gonna eat y'all up. And this is a hippo for anyone watching. It takes too long to make these to make one on the fly.
I don't know what this resolve is. Oh, jeez, that's crap. Oh my god. I'm gonna use a legend point. Oh, that's just, I guess, an extra D8. I'm at 10 at the moment. It was real crap so far. And that brought it up to a 14 against resolve.
That works.
Hey. That's power level 6, so he has disadvantage 3 on every attack that does not include me. And I rush towards him. Ah!
Sorry. You said or provoked 6.
Mm-hmm.
And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is enough to get you to there. Well, I guess that was just a major and a move. So
That's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. You're saying you're charging, not actual attack, because your attack was to do the provoke bane, but you're at least within range. Let's see, and right here, Blitzman.
Get at me, bitch.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand up, take a 5-foot step, and what I'd like to do is draw an attack with my hammer, and at the same time send lightning through it. Can I do that?
Yeah, yeah. Especially story wise, you're essentially just doing a damaging attack, but story wise, it's like you're piercing it to get it to like in to connect with the metal, and
Right.
then sending your
Yeah.
electricity down through it. Yeah, go.
Yeah. Okay. So damaging attack, obviously.
Okay.
27.
Okay. Again, this does significant damage. The point of the hammer pierces through the flesh, and then the lightning charges through it, and you hear a lot of like popping and buckling of metal all the way down the length of the tentacle as it hits. It seems to do a significant amount of damage, and you can. Well, I mean, I think you normally have your banes at 5 anyway, so you get to apply your bane to it.
Yeah. Stunned is my bane focus. Is it?
Nope.
Yeah, never mind. No.
On him, not you. You stunned the enemy. You are now stunned. Wait, what?
Oh no.
Let's see. Yeah, you still have more move and minor. Minor actually, if you don't do anything else.
I'm just gonna try to look around to see if there's any others that I see here.
Okay, yeah, make a perception check as a minor action. Generally good tactical. That's one thing Trav says they train you in the police a lot is a whenever you get into a dangerous, I don't know, combat situation, you just tunnel vision down and you have to actively, crane and turn, get your perception. Like he says, it's almost like when someone's laying on you and you're trying to push them off you to get that expansion of your perception.
So the whole thing shifted, Kurt. Even the mound shifted too, huh?
Oh no, the mound, the base stayed where it was. It's just the tentacle beyond that.
Oh, it knocked me back. That's right, knocked me back.
Yeah, it knocked you back. Yeah, the tentacle arm had been here. You were here. You were knocked back, okay. And then it also shifted this way.
So Kurt, my roll literally is exactly the same as my last perception roll. A 1 and a 7 with a 1 on the 20
for an 8 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't notice too much of that. I mean, you roughly know where everybody is on the battlefield, and you're looking at this thing and at the river, and this is the only one you see coming up out of the river, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you notice that blue suit is gone, or underwater at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
And it's back to the top of the order with Oliver Ramos. As you see the giant hippo go charging in.
Let's go a little bit closer. Right there, it's fine.
All right.
Can I just do a perception check before I shoot this guy around the area? Is anyone watching us? Anything? Those
sure.
back circling in.
Same thing. Checking the perimeter. Any other visual remnants Vizio does, I can zoom out and in.
14.
14. So not bad. You do get a decent shot of the area and the field. Probably most you scan the water. That's the only tentacle coming out. There's no bubbling or burbling or the rest of the ways. and you give a good scan of the field now that you're out in the open, and there's no movement that you can see. There's not like there's an army of 20 mechanical soldiers charging out of the woods to the south or anything like that. It appears to be clear and open.
All right. I'll take another fire shot at a tentacle over there.
Okay.
Apparently, the words fire just immediately make the d20 roll a 2 every single time. That's a 7, so that's going to be a no.
Yeah, it's still awfully wet as you're slowly burning off some of the fluid. And the blue suit.
Okay. So I don't see anything. So there's no logistical check for me to make, or a knowledge type check, or from expertise from mechanical engineering. We're still thinking this is organic, or is there any sort of like roll I can make to say, put two and two
Well,
together?
you from the sounds and some of the behavior, it does appear to be mechanical of some
Okay.
kind, and it does appear to have this would be its base where it would be mounted. And if anything, it's maybe like deeper down or like if you're going to build something like a tetherball, you would cut a hole in the ground, dig a concrete base, and then have a pole come up off of that, and that would be the base that would anchor it here. And that appears to be what you're looking at. It's just the base is also covered by this flesh or pseudo
Right.
flesh.
Yeah, I'll just swim as close to that one joint again, slashing again, right as close to the base where that tentacle is.
Yeah.
22.
Okay. And again, it is a solid hit as you slash deep into the flesh around it. The tentacle does not react as much this time. I mean, story wise, essentially the stun Lars hit it with. When he hit it with that, it's not. It is still drifting a little bit, but it's not the normal writhing movement. It's almost like it's kind of paused, or it's hesitating, or frozen in place for a brief moment. So this time, when you slash the flesh, you still hear some clicking and sounds, reactions coming from the inside, but you didn't get that normal,
Right.
writhe or
That's
move that you
essentially
got
what
the
I'm trying to
last.
do is sever any like cabling or mechanical,
Yeah, try to like cut it free from its base or something
well,
like
even
that.
if it's just like even if I don't cut the whole, I mean, it's huge thing off. I'm trying to dig in and like any sort of like wires or pneumatics or whatever the heck it mechanically is moving this thing
Yeah, I mean, for just like muscles in the arm, for it to be able to move, you have
like
to have
tendon.
opposing
Yeah.
action. So it's got to have cables or chains on opposite sides to get it to pull in different directions. Okay. Let's see. Why is it complaining about that formula? All right. Let's see. I'll even move my thing. And goes to shooting star.
All right. I'm going to move forward by 10 and attack it again. And I got another
Those
8.
turns again.
I don't know if this is going to be as good. No. All right. So that's 18 total.
You do strike it. You do pierce the flesh and hit something solid underneath. It doesn't feel like you did a lot of damage, but it was still a hit.
Okay. So I'm going to do my second attack at disadvantage, 3.
Okay.
And that's a whole 13. So I don't think I got him that time.
13, no. It's just the tentacle isn't moving much. So in this one, you hit it at kind of a glancing angle. It seems to pierce rubbery flesh a little bit, but you
Yeah.
don't. It doesn't connect with anything solid
Right.
underneath. So you're not sure. And because it's not moving as much this turn, you're not sure if the pain reaction
Right.
was anything
I
significant.
will take a free action to look really directly. Let's see, that would be west, just to see if there's anything further down. So just on the chance that I catch something.
Okay.
And it's a total of. I'm gonna move that out of the way. Wow, exploding dice tonight. All right, so it started off with a 13 and a 6, and that's 19, and then I got another 6 and then a 1, so that'd be 26 for my perception.
Okay. And especially because you're focusing on that direction, so you're all kind of like on the river here. You're looking at this whole area, which I mean, assuming someone did send someone from the castle, they were like running up the valley. I mean, that might be the way they would come charging.
Yeah.
But again, actually, your perception is so high. You notice a stag far in the distance, out in the field over here, almost just on the edge. Intently watching whatever seems to be going on there with the peculiar look on its long face.
Uh-huh.
But nothing else. Again, along the perimeter, you don't see any movement or anything beyond. And the stag isn't moving at all.
All right, so I'm maintaining.
Okay,
And that's it.
Yep, maintain the rest, and then it goes to it. So it's going to roll resist, which it does. It drops the stun. It's used a move action, but it has its rest of its turns. And with that, it immediately begins to writhe again.
Hit me.
Almost save me move. No, no, no. I don't want to do that. Bank, bank. We'll do separate ones. In its writhing, it misses the blue suit. You're so close to the base, it just can't get enough lateral movement to get any force going. It moves away from Shooting Star and swings first at the base. It's almost like a whipping action as it's curling up its energy this way. Swings at, well, no, that's right, I do the one roll for both. I guess, Taylor, what would your guard be in your hippo form? I'm guessing it like a hippo, you'd have a higher fortitude, and I mean your might is going to be the same as that. So, I mean, imagine your fortitude was like 5. It would actually, I'm not sure what
We
fortitude
we
is.
could do gorilla, which we were doing as 19, I believe, with a +1 to might. That is.
Let's see, that's armor, might, might and agility. So fortitude doesn't figure into that. Agility. Okay, yeah. So we'll say 19.
Because we were doing 18 with gorilla, but then that was before I went up in might. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so Metamorph takes 8 points of damage, and Blitzman takes 9 points of damage. Again, Blitzman is thrown back 5, 10, 15. You're not prone, it's just a forced move. The massive hippo is only moved back 1 as the tentacle moves with the movement. Both take damage. It's done its movement, it's done its roll. And that was his turn. And now it's the Metamorph again to retaliate.
Yes, I'm angry. I want to grab this tentacle and immobilize it, and then pull back and straighten it out.
Okay.
So
Yeah, just
immobilize.
do a mobilize Bane.
Hey, Goblin King. How's it going,
I just need a 1. A level 1
Jareth?
versus guards.
Well, yeah.
You've got a hippo fighting a tentacle, so there's
So
that.
6 would be 2d8 plus. Let's go with the red die. Eee. 6 on the d20, but a d8 on the d8. Oh, and another 8. So 8 and a 7 is 15, and 8 and a 1 is a 9, which is 24, plus the d20 of 6 is 30 to immobilize him.
That's
Get the
enough.
theme going.
So
Definitely next.
you basically, with your
next
massive
play.
jaws, like clamp down the fleshy external of it. It does taste rather
My
rubbery
finger
to
off,
your massive tongue, and then you would move backwards essentially to stretch it out. So I'm gonna go full stretch.
Hippo versus tentacle.
As much as possible.
And as you pull, it actually extends 3 more.
Oh.
So you are essentially here. So yeah, you like pulled it straight, from its curled thing to straight, and then you kept pulling, and it kind of stretched just a little bit more. Blue suit, you would have seen from the base, it actually moving up, shrinking in, and moving up a little bit, like it's paying out more distance as it's stretching out this way. Oh, again, the immobile is on the tentacle, not you. Oh, and I put the, oh, damn it, I put the provoked on. I made the same mistake. I put it on Taylor, so I was forgetting to provoke for them, although
It would have only mattered on that one hit against.
I didn't know you could provoke robots.
I think one person got hit last round, other than me.
yeah, let's say, Eric, the last time you took damage, at disadvantage. Well, let me re-roll that. No, I don't know because I wouldn't know what that. Yeah, just to take.
It only did 3,
Oh,
so
yeah, so just take the.
it's
three
the
hit points
minimum
back.
anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So
So
just take the 3 hit points back.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, when it's doing its writhe attack, if it's like a multi attack, as long as you're in the list, I think it would count, or it wouldn't have to make the additional disadvantage. And it has a pretty high roll anyway, so I'll just count that because the last attack it was trying for all 3 of you. Mobilize for the next turn, and that was essentially your move, and you've got it grappled, so you can't really. I mean, I guess you could move further if you wanted to go like left or right and pull the tentacle in a particular direction. But
I think I would just be pulling back as much as possible.
Yeah, you're like straining, throwing your hip weight, trying to pull it back from the river. Okay, so Lightning Man.
Didn't you also say I got hit for 9 points?
Yes. No, but that was part of a different attack. He was the target of the attack that you took the damage in. So I had to cancel one of the previous attacks where the tentacle was attacking only people not including Taylor. So it would have had disadvantage 3, I think. So I just canceled one of those attacks. The one that you got hit was the same one that Taylor and I think it missed Mike on that one.
Okay. All right. So, but like you said, I'm not prone, right? I just got knocked back.
It was just a force move.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a damaging attack against the tentacle.
Okay.
And
I get nothing.
29. And then I'm gonna do
Okay, so you reel back, you shoot with the lightning burst. It hits along the side of it, and it just like burns like a long gash, like a blackened gash in the side of it. It does a tremendous amount of damage, and this thing is now injured.
Okay, so I'm going to do my hasted attack, which is at disadvantage 3 also.
Okay.
Damn. That's 18.
18 hits. Nowhere near as impressive as the last one, but you definitely did damage.
Yeah, that's because I had to throw out all the good rolls and keep the 2 ones.
Yeah, that's disadvantage does hurt. Let's see. Anything else? I would assume a minor action to sustain haste. You have other movements if you want.
I'm just gonna move north 1 step, 1 square.
Okay.
That's it.
And we're back to Oliver Ramos.
Just gonna take a shot at it again.
Okay.
Don't say the words. I love how you didn't say the words.
And I didn't roll a 2.
There you go.
16.
16. Oh, it's so close. Like it starts to burn all of the slime off the side, and the rubber is just starting to crack and dry when it seems like that as far as the heat went on that one.
I'll stay where I am.
Okay. Blue suit.
All right. Do I see any sort of like what looks like possible tearing with it pulling out like that? Like anything in the where I've been slashing at it?
No, there's still, while it did stretch some and it seemed to be like feeding out more insides, if there's a interior and the rubber is just stretching around it. But there doesn't seem to be any weak point or crack or nothing you can grab onto. It's just another bit of tentacle here.
Some bitch. All right. Well, I'll just try to jam. I'll just do a piercing, jam my hands in just to try and like get deeper into this thing with the razor.
Okay.
Since everyone else gets more damage, or is it only electrical damage that does more damage? Well, I would.
I mean, honestly, they just rolled, so they were doing like 10 or 12 points of damage, which is why it wasn't the effectiveness of the damage type so much as just they happened to roll.
8. I rolled garbage. I have to retire this die. Yeah, so I rolled an 8.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's like from the angle that you're stabbing in. It's like the blades go in, but your fingers don't go much further, and it's not a significant percentage of the amount of flesh, so it doesn't seem like it does much damage to it on that slash. Anything else? Any other movement or minor actions?
No, at this point, it's kind of deal with what's in front of us, I guess.
All right, shooting star.
All right, I'm gonna take a 5-foot step forward or toward it, and give it another whack. Ooh, 18 on that. So 24 total.
You land a solid hit.
Right.
You should get like double damage because like sap in the gears, it must like I don't know crunch them up and solidify them. So like all the rest of it's unusable. So you can just remove all those electricals. Yeah.
Well, I'm using that Lucerne hammer, which is kind of like a spike on the end. So let's do the disadvantage 3 attack.
Okay.
All right. That is 23 because I got a 19 on the 20.
Oof. Another solid attack, about the same as the last one.
And I'm not doing anything beyond maintaining at that point. Not moving
Okay.
back. I'm staying next to it.
It's the tentacle's turn. It's going to use a minor action to try to resist the provoked, which it does. And it'll use a move action to try to resist the immobilize. Oh, which it does not. It is stuck where it is.
This thing's coming off.
I'm going to say it's going to still attack. I mean, Metamorph is basically grappling it, so it doesn't have enough lateral movement to be able to attack anyone. It shook off the. I'm going to say in shaking off the provoked bane, it's attacking the Metamorph because it's angry that you're holding it down. So this is all, it's almost like you feel like you're holding onto the rubber, but you feel kind of the bones or guts or whatever it is kind of move back. So you're just feeling rubber, and then you feel it, punch as it's trying to punch the inside of your mouth. Is you take 5 points of damage, and you get the persistent damage bane as it knocks one of your teeth free and rips your gum as you're bleeding in your mouth a little.
Honestly, I don't know how much health the hippo would have. I'm just kind of managing my own health. Do you know how? Do you want to give me like a hippo HP?
Does the animal's health or does when you shapeshift, does your health actually change? I mean, does it just go raw by your stats, or does it keep the stats of your person? Again, I bet the thing doesn't say.
It changes a little bit. It's a little bit confusing because it says when you hit. If I'm at like 18 health with like a gorilla, and I hit 19 health, I think I go down even though I'm at 26 health myself. I'm a little bit confused about that, but
Well, your hit points is your fortitude, your willpower, and your presence. Your presence is like your luck. Your. I wouldn't see that as necessarily would change. And your willpower, I mean, you are still you, so I don't see that as changing. And your fortitude is already 5. If anything, it would go up. So I would just say your hit points are the same as the hippo.
sweet. All right, I'm half.
None of your stats are really. That's its movement. That was its minor. That was its major, and that's geez. This is how much I have moved the initiative bar so little. I now need to not move it at all to say it is now the Metamorph's turn.
I'm gonna telepathically ask anyone if they want to do some jump rope, and then I'm gonna start pulling back and just start going around.
Yeah, I mean, you're essentially doing a damaging attack by like stretching it and ringing it, around.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let's go purple die, and would you say might on that?
That would be raw might. Yeah.
Raw might. That's an 8 on the die with a 6 and a 4. That's 18.
18 is enough, so it doesn't feel like it does too much.
I can do a focus action and get advantage.
I'd say too late for
God damn it! Okay.
a little bit after the fact. But you do damage. You can kind of feel the crunching and snapping as it's extended a little bit too much, and it does whip around in that movement. Shooting star, make an agility check just to make sure you don't get knocked back,
Oops.
or to see if you actually jump over the jump rope of tentacle.
23.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like he whips it around and you dive under. It's whipping around the back of you. You jump up and literally do a jump rope with this giant tentacle. As a giant hippopotamus is, like a dog with a chew toy pulling against
That's
the base
awesome.
of the tentacle.
I had plenty of movement left, so not a problem there.
Yeah, probably could have. It was more for story to see if you just got knocked flat on your ass, dodged it, or actually did it with style, and you managed to pull off some style. Let's see. Oh, it's the beginning of your turn, Taylor. So I got to roll your persistent damage. 2 points of damage.
You always have me scared on that because I think you're gonna explode. But all right. You can put me at injured.
Okay. Yeah, actually, we haven't had. I think Eric's is the first persistent damage explosion we've had.
I think so. I don't remember.
Taylor. Oh, actually, you did your major action to attack it. You talked about focus action. As I said, it was too late. You have a move action left, so you could use that to shake off the persistent damage bane.
Excuse me.
You could do multiple banes if you wanted to.
Yep. I got a 15.
Do not know
Oh,
what.
yeah, that did it. So you did take damage because it's the beginning of your turn, but you do shake it off. You swallow the blood, grit your teeth, and bite down harder on the tentacle.
Yeah, I did lose that teeth. That tooth. So yeah.
Yeah, I was picturing like the Hulk when Thor, or when Iron Man punched him and he got up and spit out the tooth and looked even more angry. And Blitzman.
All right. I'm gonna zap it again. I know that's shocking and all, but
I see what you did there.
yeah. 25.
25. You guys getting some solid hits.
Yeah.
The one time I'm like, well, let me make its guard a little bit more reasonable because I don't want you guys to be missing here. 27, 25. That was another solid hit of damage, and you do get to apply your stun bane again.
Sweet.
Now, does the electricity go to the water, or does it also go towards my mouth?
Yes.
The shortest
Yes.
path. There we are. Took me a while.
You also take full damage.
That's what I'm thinking.
So yeah, I mean, he would have shot it here, and then it would have ground it out this way. But yeah, a little bit higher, it might have been. Well, path of least resistance. It's not necessarily distance; it's whatever the resistance is to the flow of current.
So try to go with a dry mouth.
Yeah. He did just swallow all the blood, so his mouth should be a little on the dry side. So yeah, it does a significant amount of damage, and you throw your bane on top of it. It's got the stun, and actually, metamorph. You feel it kind of stiffen up in your mouth as it shakes or shimmies a little bit. And we're up to any other movement or
do my hasted attack.
oh sorry, yep, hasted attack, right? I guess it was the last the bar fight. You didn't have it on, so I thought you had that as well. You're like the Lightning Brothers.
Again with the 2 1s, but anyway, it's a total of 20.
20, yeah, it's enough to do a little bit. Same thing as before. You get the big punch and then the follow up kiss on the mouth for a little bit more.
And that's it. I'm done.
Let's see, and Oliver Ramos. 3rd time's a charm, buddy.
4th time. Let's see how this works. Yeah, that's a 12.
Oh no. Let's see.
No, focused.
Yeah, I guess I'm not moving, so. Nope, even less.
I'm gonna say you are because you have the hot-headed flaw, right?
Yeah.
So you shoot the fire. It doesn't seem to have any effect. You are like your mind is seething. The fire resurges and it does burn the thing for damage, but in all that, your telepathy drops. You inadvertently drop your sustain action.
Okay.
So you do a significant amount of damage to it, but in the process, you lose your concentration and drop your telepathy. That does that much damage, and it's got like a big burn scar around here, right next to the huge electrical burn in the last couple of segments. And yeah, I'm sorry, any movement or other minor actions?
No, I'll stay. I'll just stay there.
Okay. And that goes to blue suit.
So focus. All right. So focused action. That just gives me advantage, right?
Yes.
All right.
Dig deep.
Death touch.
Oh, so Kurt, if you didn't know, Death Touch is if you do 1 damage, then that creature just dies. So, unless the other one has first strike, just let you know.
Pretty kick.
Okay.
11. 15.
15 still not enough.
Oh, I know. It's garbage. Can't hit my way out of a paper bag.
Again, I'm gonna say you hit it and you do damage, but your mask comes free in the struggle, and you get like you basically just have a shot of water like up your nose in your face. So it'll take you say a move action to either get up out of the water or get your mask back on and clear it with a fresh burst of air. So you do some damage, but you're going to be at a disadvantage next turn until you like clear your mask.
That's bullshit.
So it does again.
Oh, no,
this
what?
much damage.
Shit.
Needling it down.
Stupid tentacle.
Well, I actually. Oh no, you say you did focus actions. That was all your actions for that one. And up again, Bert. And shooting star.
All right, I'm gonna whack it again. See if I can completely dismantle this section. Ooh, that's a 19. Let's see about the other two. All right, that's a total of 28.
Let's see. Okay, again, it was a significant amount of damage. The thing is now bloodied, and it was enough to again put persistent damage on it.
Right. So I will make my second attack at disadvantage 3. And wow, that is as low as it's gonna go. That's a 10.
And a 10,
So,
you didn't get
just
the
a
point right.
glancing
You kind
blow.
of came in sideways, so it was like hammer side hit
Yeah.
it, and it just bounced off it like you hit a rubber tire.
Right.
And then it is the tentacle's turn.
Yeah.
It is going to shake off the stun. We'll try stun first, which it does. It's going to shake off the immobile.
No, it's not.
I have to roll Eric, roll 1 die 4 for the persistent damage before it tries to resist, which it does.
Sure enough, it's another 4. And let's see.
Just crushing it.
5 total.
5 damage. Okay, still bloodied. Use its minor move action to shake off immobilize or the stunned. Actually, I had to use its other move action to shake off the other Banes. It has its attack now, and it's going to try to hit all 3. This one is difficult. Well,
Sniffies. Hi, honey. Do you want to move that pillow? Here. Hi, honey. Come on. Get that pillow out of your way. Yes.
oh,
Yes, come on in. Want to come up?
The metamorph, you are knocked back 5 feet and take 14 points of damage
Can I see that?
as you feel the innards just punch the inside of your giant hippo mouth.
Sure.
And there's not as much lateral movement, so you are only knocked back 10 instead of 15. Your guard.
So what do you do?
Mama said knock you out. I'm dead.
And shooting star, you take 6 points of damage. And Taylor is unconscious.
Man, Taylor, you get unconscious a lot.
He does. He has the tank to.
I'm just a sleepy boy, okay? I just need my little time, a little beauty sleep.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it punches you. No, yeah, you would have just moved back. Though.
I honestly see it as like the creepy like alien mouth coming out, but like you.
There's a mouth within the mouth. Yeah, no, it's not that creepy.
That's
It just
like a little
punches
tentacle.
like the roof of your mouth, and sends you flying, and like sends Eric flying as well. Like again, it wasn't able to move laterally enough at its base to be able to hit the blue suit. And oh yeah, because of the other movement to shake off the other stun, that is it. And he is unconscious. We move on to Blitzman.
I was gonna do like a cool shapeshift into like a crocodile and do like their weird like turning thing and to see if I could like twist it up or something.
Yeah.
That was my next idea.
The death roll.
Nice.
That's when you want to be able to turn into inanimate objects like the Green Lantern ring. You just turn into like a giant ratchet. And you just start and the whole thing just starts twisting.
That'd be like Plastic Man. Plastic Man would do that.
Don't you worry. I saw there's something called an animate object. Well, animate object, but you have to have creation to have it. So I might boon access it because it looks like something I want.
Yeah, actually, I think the blue suit has that, and he's going to be making his first thing for the next, I guess, the next leg of the.
Yeah, when we go back to Austria.
Once you get back to the lab, there's more story wise there, but.
Doing
oh
an
yeah,
attack,
sorry.
So 15 is my
15. Same thing. Like the lightning seems to slide along the side of the rubber, but it's not enough to penetrate. It's like it's the resistance of the rubber is enough to overcome it.
All right, so I'm gonna do my haste attack.
Okay.
17.
17 hits. It's not a heck of a lot of damage, but it's still a hit.
All right.
And Oliver Ramos again.
Do it again.
Burn. Channel your inner, you know what?
Oh, that's right. I'm not moving, so I'll do a focus action.
Yes, sure.
Even less. It was a 14 total.
Boy. Let's see. I also go with it. That's a straight miss on that one.
Classic
Shoots the
Eddie
fire.
rolling day.
It was being held taut by Metamorph, and it punched him off and comes wriggling back, or will on its next move. So it wriggled just right out of the way right before you shot. And blue suit.
Okay, I'll clear my mask and then just slash at it. Or
Okay.
again,
Yes, just
try to piercing damage my hand in there to grab at some cables or something.
Okay.
This is for real. This is for really reals.
For real this time.
Exactly. The last 3 times were crap, but this one. Well, 22 is not bad. I'll take a 22.
And is this one, this attack, you don't have the thing that does the Banes at 5, right? I mean, essentially, you did 5 points of damage.
No,
I know.
no.
I think it's on your staff.
This is my razor glove, which doesn't. It's meant for more lock picking. I can just do piercing damage with it in a pinch.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I just wanted to check. So,
Yeah,
so you do a solid hit, 5 points of damage.
It is not baneful, as they say, for an item.
Yeah. And shooting star. Now he keeps getting knocked back, and he's going to go back in for the kill once again.
Yep.
I'm betting.
That's exactly right. Oh, helps if I get the 20-sider inside the hole there. So that's a whole lousy 16.
The same thing. The hammer bounces off of the rubber.
Yep. Yep.
If anything,
It
there
just
seems to be
slipped into my
less
grip.
innards
Yeah.
for you to hit
Yeah.
as they start falling into pieces on the inside.
Well, that's a little better. 17.
That hit, the same thing. It's not a lot of damage, but it is a hit.
Oh, it's funny because that's with disadvantage 3.
That's not bad. You're having some pretty hot rolls tonight.
Yeah. Now I needed that 76 on this thing. Maybe that'd have killed it.
I wasn't even thinking about the casinos during COVID. Are casinos even open?
I
mean,
think
they must
most of them are
be, 'cause they're
closed.
really are, because
Yeah,
I would think they must be losing money like mad.
Yeah, if
You
they're
would think in
open.
those huge halls they could just limit it to like 50 people, and you could have everybody far enough away from each other. They also have
Yeah.
really good ventilation, so
Right.
I was just gonna say now would be the night to drive down to Mohegan Sun and try your luck.
Yeah.
You're obviously on fire.
Never gone gambling in my life beyond like a scratch ticket.
I don't know. I was the same way. With the odds what they are. We had a run where we all went out to Vegas. Like multiple people got married out there, so we went like almost every summer going. And my first trip out, I did not bet on a single thing. I found 1 quarter on the floor, so I was up 25 cents. The next time I went, though, we played craps, and then I did play. And then it was like, look, you take out so much money. I'm just going to spend this. If it's all gone, it's all gone. If I win bet more, great, but that's it. Just play for the fun of it. And that one actually was fun because it's a very social game. There's all these people involved. So even when and you can just do this minimum bet and just not get deep into the field, just dip your toe in and then just watch it unfold. You're almost watching the other people bet and have fun. You're like, oh, I'll try that. But I'm the same way. I'm not a huge gambler, really. I know for our company, they used to take us down to Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun for a night as like team building and a dinner and stuff. And I do really miss that. I mean, I understand they can't do it now. There's just too many people, too many employees. That's back when we were a lot smaller, but that was pretty awesome. Just getting to go to like Foxwoods for a night for free, and it's a hotel, so you just like you just drink all the free drinks and then stagger up to your room and pass out. Let's see, where were we? Oh yeah, that was him. So yeah, so the tackle is up, and he doesn't have any veins on this time, and oh, he's gonna stretch and move. Oh, the last three sections shrink back in on itself as it's going to take a swing at Blitzman and Oliver Ramos. Oh, garbage. We'll pull it out. No, a miss on both. So it swings wide, but it's like it passes right over your head, or you're just able to duck.
It rolled lower than a 12.
I rolled a 1, a 4, and what was the other one? I re-rolled one of them, but it came out also as like a 2, so it was it was 11 total. And it does get a move.
I don't know why you're baffled. Kurt's rolling.
I did have I had 2 20s, but one of the 20s didn't. It was something else. It wasn't an attack roll. It's going to do that as its move. It just curls back to there, and it is up. Metamorph is still down, and down to Blitzman.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can bloody it some more. 26.
26 will definitely do it. So that's going to be that much. And just leave this on the board. Again, like the other two, you rip into the side of this thing, this time going even deeper into the burnt trough that you did. You do a significant amount of damage, and so much so that it is then stunned. So it kind of, shakes almost like it's coming to a halt, and then all the movement shakes out through the rest of the rigid pieces as it shudders back down to the base. And you have your second attack?
Yeah, second attack was a 14.
Okay, same thing, but lighter on the second one, just not quite enough to penetrate the rubber. And we go to Oliver Ramos.
Yeah.
Shoot again.
Yeah, your confidence is bolstered, and this giant tentacle tried to hit little old you with your trench coat and your journal, and it missed wide. So you're like, I can definitely take this. I just wanted you to get a good roll on one of his flame attacks.
It happened. This is the one. That's an
Okay.
18. That's an 18.
18. That's a solid hit.
What are you doing?
All right. And I don't know if you're doing that as a focus. If you have any other movements or actions.
Yeah, I didn't do it as a focus, but I guess I will, because that makes sense. So not 18. It would have been a do math well. 22.
Okay, yeah, so instead of the minimum damage, it was just a solid hit.
That'll be it for me.
Okay, and blue suit.
All right, focused action. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. Ha ha ha! About time. Someone's getting hurt. I rolled a natural 20, my first of the night. 3. I will take it.
This might be interesting.
Oh, yeah. 12. 32. That's a 38, sir.
38. Okay, you dig down deep. This time you feel these like steel tendons snap as you cut into it. The whole thing jerks and shudders. It, it does start to writhe as it drops. Well, these guys too. But in one last motion, so like the cords on this side of the tentacle snap, so it whips back the other way as this one pulls taut, and it ends up making like almost a whip action, which comes to a point and hits Oliver Ramos. Give me an agility check.
I'm sorry. Didn't know it was
Okay.
gonna do that.
It'll be funny anyway.
All I can see is like the shot they would have like in the comics when they get hit and they're like their
Yeah.
arms and legs like this as they fly back.
I had this as a possibility if people were in just the right position, and it just happened to be Oliver Ramos right at the tip.
25.
25. Okay. You only take 6 points of damage.
Oh,
but
just
you go
only.
flying back 20 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20, and land prone on the ground. I don't have to put it up.
Why are you biting me?
I always keep these up to as a record of how it ended. So we'll just say, well, I guess yeah, only 6 for you is quite a bit, but it's the end of the battle, and with 15 minutes, you're pretty much up to full snuff, anyways.
Why you biting?
So it snaps. The whole thing shudders. The thing whips as just the mechanical energy is released through it. Eddie happens to be in the wrong place. He does start to move back with it, which takes a bit of the damage. It probably would have knocked you out cold, but you did get thrown back and land in the padded grass as the thing rises and just crashes down to the ground. And at that, almost anti-ceremoniously, the little boy animatronic starts up again. And as you guys see, as it just rolls back on this track with its little arms like woof, 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 and splashes down into the water yet again. Blue Suit sees this as he sort of thrashes in the water, clicks, resets, and then slides back up the track, back up into the woods.
I'm smashing that thing.
I was going to say, you are welcome to smash the little animatronic or destroy the track. You can also, take a little piece of the boy's head or something with you as a memento or a section of tentacle rubber with you if you want as a trophy of this encounter.
No, what should happen is Taylor should take the boy's head and put it in his body and hold it with him. And then when we finally get to like the end freaking fight with this chick, he should be like, throw it out like, yeah.
There you go. If you want to add it to your 20 items, Taylor, you can put animatronic boy's head.
Yeah, actually, if I was still up, I was immediately going to just run that thing over. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, the little boy is basically a reverse fishing lure. So like a lure you cast out onto the land and then drag down into the water. If you investigate, you do find it does have a mechanical base that goes, I mean, honestly, like a metal or concrete block deep in the sediment at the base of the river. If you cut the tentacle open, you do see it has a wood polymer and framework with the long chains and steel cables on all sides of it that allows it to curl and roll in different directions. You clear the scene, you check the field, you're clear in the open, there doesn't seem to be any movement. You can recover and move on. It's 9:30, so we'll call it from there and then pick up with you heading out of the field and into the woods on the other side before you head up the hill.
Thank you, everyone, for watching us play this
And that's
game.
it.
I just said thanks.
Thanks for coming,
We have
everybody.
a bunch of people watching, and they enjoy watching us now. So, we have 6 viewers, 7 viewers throughout. So,
Cool.
any